first topic on the docket today, which I think is a great one. And Chamath, you've been tweeting a lot lately, as we just talked about. I think that'll end up probably being our cold open. But Zuck announced, and Facebook Meta announced the launch of Threads. Gerstner, big shareholder of Meta, I think, right? Reasonably sized shareholder. Zuck this morning announced 30 million downloads of the app overnight. Threads is Instagram / Facebook / Meta's competitor to Twitter. Looks almost like a clone. I mean, it is so similar in features, in interaction, in everything. Brad, maybe you can kick us off and talk a little bit about the importance of Threads and how this is important to Meta, and then we can talk a little bit about the app itself.
Well, I mean, the first thing is, if rumors are true, they developed this over a period of 6 to 9 months with 20 people, okay? And so the extraordinary pace that's now occurring with inside Meta. We've heard from several people inside that said people are pumped. They're actually updating real-time user counts. They're over 30 million users already on Instagram. And it just gets back to this culture of flattening the organization, speeding up the organization. I think everybody's excited. You know, the best engineers in the world want to see their products set free.
Chamath, having worked at Facebook, maybe you can share a little bit about your point of view on Threads as a product and as an evolution away from social network on Facebook to Instagram and now to Threads.
I think what people don't understand is that the successful category winner in each of these categories needed to invent something de novo that nobody else had. In the case of Facebook, we invented photo tagging when it didn't exist, and then we invented the newsfeed when it didn't exist. And then there was a bunch of people that copied it, but it didn't matter because we had refined and owned that use case already. So I think the real challenge for Facebook isn't, can 20 people copy Twitter? I mean, you know, Mastodon is a copy of Twitter. There's a bunch of Parler is a copy of Twitter. Truth Social is a copy of Twitter. The challenge is going to be, can you invent some de novo feature that makes people actually want to use this? And, you know, rage quitting Twitter because you're not a fan of the product right now, or Elon, isn't a successful long-term use case, because all of those people will eventually come back. I'm a little bit more skeptical of the whole thing. I think that right now what you see is not even a full copy of the system. It's 50, 60% copy with a lot less usage. And so as a result, a lot less traffic. But I think you need something new. You know, TikTok, the reason why it became successful was it was a fundamentally new use case relative to the alternatives. And I think that that captures people's imagination and mindshare. So this is not what Threads does. And so in as much as it's a copy of something that is already an established behavior, I don't think it has very high chances of success.
But don't Stories and Reels undermine that argument? I mean, Reels was a copy of TikTok and Stories was a copy of Snapchat, and they're both giant products today.
I think that you can definitely copy features into an existing product with new distribution, but to invent a new product wholly from scratch, that's a carbon copy of something. But again, Reels attaches onto Instagram, right, which is a unique use case, right? And so I think that, again, it goes back to, you have these 5 or 6 established modes of social media that essentially are from large pieces of content to small pieces. That's probably the best organizing principle that we have. And then that's one axis. And the other axis is text, video, audio. And along that spectrum, you can basically compartmentalize all these things. And then there are about 4 of them that have real scale. And so in as much as you have established distribution, yes, you can copy a feature from somebody else and it will get used. But that's not what this is. So if this instead gets integrated into Instagram, I think it's much more dangerous to Twitter than as a standalone product. As a standalone product, I tend to think it's DOA for the most part. Unless, again, it invents something totally new that we're missing.